Alright, so let's look at the build while we've got it. I transmogged the weapon into something else, as well as the gloves, the boots, and the pants. The rest of it's Dark One set. I like this transmog. I'm using a level 50 dagger because I don't have the cunning for this yet. Basically, all my other points are going into cunning until I can use this, and then it should be fine. I have low Aether Res right now, and low Poison Res without my buffs. So debuffed, I'll take a lot of poison damage and a lot of Aether damage. I only have 26% Fizz Res without any of my buffs. Freeze Res is crap. Stun Res is okay. It's not bad. I need better CC Res. DA needs work. OA's not bad. So let's throw the buffs on. So with my permanent buffs, I am overcapped on Aether Res, 3% over for now because I'm not using the my Bone Blade yet. 42% over on bleeding. I'll have like 60% over on bleeding once I get my better weapon, and I'll also have like 70% on overcapped on Pierce as well. Vitality will also be 70%. My Fizz Res will also be 34% base because I get 4% more Fizz Res from this. And I'll have a bit more health on top of that. I will lose a bit of DA from this, and yeah, and I'll lose some life leech resistance, but it's not such a big deal. Overcapped on all my stuff for now. I'm going to swap these warding things, like augments, all for the 30 DA augments, so I can have my DA up higher. I am not sure about these. Like, these are the best overall, but they don't give but there's some with 75 OA, so I might take those to get higher OA. When I pop Blood of Dreeg, my poison is 43% over. I have 2,700, almost 2,800 OA, and 44% Fizz Res, which is really good. My armor rating is meh, but I have 95% absorption, so it's still pretty good. HP is 1,500, and Blood of Dreeg heals for like almost 30% health when it pops. It also gives me 100% more vitality damage while it's up, so it's pretty solid. And the skills, I have 16 points into possession, which 70% damage absorption, and pretty good amounts of damage for my vitality. Just 1 point in this for no real reason. The additional vitality damage is nice, and the vitality resistance here is nice. I'm thinking about putting more points into this for bleed res as well as the radius. The radius is the most important thing there. But I might need to put the last 10 points into the Shaman Mastery Bar for the stats. Storm Totem is just a proc. It does decent damage, but it's just a proc devotion. Max Wendigo, I get 2 Wendigos. Max points in this for Aether Pierce and defensive ability. 10 of 10, even though it's like not perfect. It's like 4% less than it used to be. 1 point in this. Max this because it's also bleeding vitality res minus. For the devotions, I have Turtle Shell for a proc. I have Dryad to reduce poison, reduce bleeding, give me a little bit more armor, and another heal, basically, because I don't have any, real life steal. Bat gives me life steal. Wendigo, or this on Wendigo, gives me life steal when it hits. What's it called? Devouring Swarm also has life steal on it. Oops, wrong button. This gives me a defensive ability, which, does okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. And then this hits pretty big for the minus life leech, minus vitality res. It's still kind of low level because I just got it. But that's the devotions. I got this for the OA. This is vitality damage. This is mostly here for green purple. But yeah, that's how the build is looking right now. On level 94. And if we run out, do a quick test on Krieg to see how it feels. Keep this up. Just drop our boss and run, basically. We're pretty slow. I could use more movement speed. But having like 50, almost 50% fizz res on a dot build is pretty nice. That's Dark One proccing, by the way. That orb. But as you can see, things really do melt against this build. And it's relatively tanky. I choose to test it against Krieg because I can't kite against Krieg. And just stand here. Krieg just melts, like instantly dead almost. If we look at the gear, I'm using. Oh, stop coming up. I'm using the Bone Blade to get vitality and bleeding damage on Bloody Pox, as well as vitality resistance reduction. And I'm also using Word of Soil, which gives me minus 80 DA, which is essentially giving me almost, like 80 DA is almost 100 OA in this sense. So with this up, I have almost 2800 OA, which is a decent amount of chance to crit. I don't really need to crit on this build, but it's nice to have. This turns all the acid damage to vitality damage and adds more vitality decay to it. Dark One set, it took me like 4 hours to fucking farm this. More than that, probably close to like 6 hours to farm Dark One set in Season 4. They reduced the drop rate by like a third or something. They made it the same as Krieg's. It took fucking forever to farm this. But the set gives damage to Wendigo Totem, gives you 2 Wendigo Totems, makes Wendigo Totem last longer, increases your Bloody Pox and Wendigo Totem, as well as reduces target's damage with Wendigo Totem. You die? You throw it away. Just throw it away, buddy. Okay, I got it. That's disgusting. And then this one just gives stats. This one gives stats, and this one gives more like reduced target's damage to Bloody Pox. So Bloody Pox is also reducing target's damage, and it makes Wendigo Totem restore 3% more HP on top of all that. And then it gives me Dark One's Gift whenever I'm hit. I get 8% damage absorption, 7% health absorbed, and then some more vitality damage. Boots are just Fizz Res with vitality damage, and Devouring Swarm, as well as Shattering Force. I don't use Shattering Force. 70 reduced targets DA is nice. I could probably add Shattering Force to the thing, but I'm mostly a kiting dot build. If I just put that on there, it would give me something else to press, I guess. Where's it at? Wait, is Shattering Force? No, it's chance when hit. Never mind. So Shattering Force just automatically knocks down the DA. I have the Girdle of Stolen Dreams, which is I need a better one. This is only 2% OA. I think I can get up to 4% OA. but it's 155 OA and then like 4% OA plus 1 occultist and then some vitality damage. It's overall good, just could be better. I'm using Elder's Pact with Bloodburst and Black Death thing. It's okay. Didn't get a very good roll on vitality damage. Pants are the Fizz Res pants with offensive ability, movement speed, and vitality bleeding damage. And another chance when hit that I get an attack that gives me like basically a retaliation that gives me health back. So another way to get health back. The rings, I have one of my planned rings, the Death Band, which is a lot of vitality damage, defensive ability, casting speed, which is okay, and the 10% chance on attack to give bleeding and vitality damage, which procs a lot. And then I have this ring instead of the other ring that I wanted. I haven't been able to gamble up the other ring, but this one's vitality damage, like not really good offensive ability. But Mark of the Fallen is nice, which is another reason why I need critical attack, because that gives me minus 15 more vitality res. Heart of the Sand King is... That took me like 20 minutes to farm. You can farm Sand King super easy. Like you just run outside of the Act 7 place and just kill them over and over again. Gives you max bleed res, plus 1 all skills to your occultist, points to Oak Skin, and makes Mogdrogan Pact add bleeding damage. None of that other stuff matters. Like the stuff to Mogdrogan's Pact does not matter, but getting plus 1 to all occultist, plus 3 to Oak Skin is nice. Plus it has 73 DA and vitality bleeding damage. It's like the perfect amulet for everything, but we don't do any weapon damage. If we did weapon damage, this would be even better. We might, if we added savagery to the build. And this is our best metal. We could use the bleeding one, the monster infrequent, but overall this one adds minus health regeneration to Bloody Pox, which really helps against a lot of enemies. A lot of vitality damage to Wendigo Totem, a lot of vitality damage to Bloody Pox, and bonus to and it also has toxic gas, which basically gives me fumble and impaired aim on my attacks, which is great because that's another layer of defense this build has. It doesn't have any real flat damage reduction, because I needed the Aether Res on my helmet component, so I used this instead of a diamond. But I do have some of that other stuff. And then Chaos Surge, 15% chance on attack with that little ball you saw bouncing around earlier. Yeah, that's the gear. And soon I'll have this upgraded weapon, and it'll be a little bit better, I think. Thanks for watching.